wherever you live, you will be just expanding and expressing your uniqueness and creativity. You will understand you are unique. You will not bother about anything else, anya. As long as you are there, you will have a headache and life will be serious. The moment you are out, you will be utterly relaxed. You will be enjoying Sahasrara. As long as you are there, you will have discontentment. You will have dissatisfaction. The moment you move out, you will have just gratitude and overflowing. Life will be too much. Life is too much. Just move out. Get out of your system. Only one word for today's message. This is the only introduction. The one word, get out. Get out. If you are having a thought to move the hand, witness. If you are having a thought to say something, witness. Continuously witness. And if you are feeling bored, witness. Even the thought is thought that you are feeling bored, witness. Continuously witness. Because the moment you create space between you and your thoughts, intelligence starts happening. That space is where the intelligence starts flowering. The Atmaspurana starts happening. Now, it is time for me to give the introduction for the word Atmaspurana. I tell you honestly, when I came, I don't know what I am going to draw and what I am going to explain. Now just it's happening. It's landing on me and I am expressing. So if you fall in tune with me, you will understand what I am going to do. Alright, let me explain. This is what I call time shaft. Time shaft means the time. Kala chakra, continuously moving.
We are now entering into the 7th January 2006. Here we can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism visiting various places in Varanasi. Varanasi, for those who do not know, who are not familiar, Varanasi is the place of pilgrimages where there's thousands and thousands of spiritual temples. We have Ganga, the Ganges, which is available, and throughout the Ganges, we have lots of ghats where different forms of activities happen. Here you can see in the picture on the right, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism on the boat, which is on the Ganges. So you can rent these boats and travel through the Ganges. And on the left, you can see spiritual shops where you can buy various types of spiritual goods or offerings that you can purchase and then go to temples such as the Kashi Vishwanath temple, and you can offer those as a form of gratitude towards the divine, towards the ultimate. So the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism visiting Kashi with disciples and devotees. So we can have a glimpse of that. Here we have a few more pictures. So here we have the Kashi Vishwanath temple, as we can see in the back. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism sitting on the steps and sharing spiritual truths, insights with devotees, disciples, followers, and perhaps curious people who gathered around. So it is such a blessing for those who were able in those days to be around the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, to be physically around the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, as many of these trips, many of these travelings were made available, and various forms of insights and knowledge was shared and transmitted by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to people. So those who were in those days around the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism surely have amazing memories of all these various trips.
The next we can see the 7th of January 2007, where the ASP Ananda Spurna program was conducted in Kailasa in Hyderabad. Here we can see the temple, the Sri Rajarajeshwari temple in Hyderabad, which was directly the deities in the temple. The Pranaprishta has been done by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. In the center we can have the darshan of Sri Rajarajeshwari, which is the main deity of the temple, and we can see the other deities on the sides. And here we can see the Ananda Spurna program, which was conducted. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism designed with the pramanas of the Vedas and Agamas the Ananda Spurna program, which is a program which the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducts, which awakens all the 7 chakras in all of us, starting from the Mooladhara chakra till the Sahasrara chakra. All the chakras, there are intense meditations where the chakras, all the cleansing of the chakras happen, and then the chakra gets awakened by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And of course, just by one touch of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the Kundalini just rises and all the chakras are cleared. And it is a wonderful program which I'm sure many of us would have experienced. And here we can see that program in Kailasa in Hyderabad.
Entering now in the year of 2008, again on the 7th of January, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducts the NSP program in Bididi. So the NSP program, Nithyananda Paramashivam program, is another program which was designed by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism used to work day and night and is still working day and night, making himself available to devotees, disciples, followers. Here you can see in the picture on the left, the thousands of people who used to gather in the Ananda Sabha, the first Sabha, the first hall, which was made available in the Bididi Adinam, in the Adi Kailasa in Bangalore, India. So people being guided directly by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism from early morning till late night, where again, various types of processes which were given by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to help the participants to free themselves from life negative patterns, from emotions of lower levels of consciousness, for them to experience the oneness with Paramashiva, the bliss and the gratitude towards Guru. On the right, you can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism with the chart explaining the various levels of purification that needs to happen in the various bodies that we carry. So that was the Nithyananda Paramashivam program. You can see more pictures here. On the left, we can see naturally in each program conducted by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, once the processes are completed, once the participants relieve themselves from various types of incompletions, they will get the darshan, the individual darshan, which is literally the peak, the climax of each day, where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism blesses by a simple touch, awakens the Kundalini of the participants, which naturally flows directly towards the Sahasrara chakra, since the processes that the participants went through helped to already do an initial level of cleansing, making the flow and the awakening of the Kundalini extremely easy and instantaneous. And for those again who were around the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism those years, we can see the picture on the right, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism dancing, which used to be something very common in those days, which became very less common afterwards. So the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism twirling and dancing in complete bliss and ecstasy. Devotees, disciples, followers used to gather around in circles, like we see in the picture, and completely mesmerized by the simple grace that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism used to radiate. So surely those who were available, those who were around the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism physically during those years, can never forget these moments. So here we have a picture of such a moment. So before moving on to the next year, we'll have a short break.
Nithyanandam, welcoming back all the viewers watching us live on YouTube, Facebook, and the various other social media platforms. We will now be looking at the 7th of January 2009, where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's visit to the Venkateshwara temple in Bangalore and blessed all the devotees with special boons and healing. We can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism speaking and blessing all the devotees in the Venkateshwara temple in Bangalore, where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was welcomed with all the celebrations, the Purna Kumbha, and the various ways on how to traditionally welcome a Hindu spiritual guru, and putting the mala, the garland, and offering the shawl, the cloth to the guru. The priests of the Venkateshwara temple offered all the respects to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And after that, as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is ever compassionate, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism made himself available to all the devotees and the people of Bangalore to ask their boons and blessings and prayers, and attended to each and every one of them on blessing them with anything that they want, whether it may be health, wealth, relationship, happiness in their life, anything which they wanted. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism can be seen giving the darshan to each and every one, and it is so fortunate where each one of the devotee, whenever we approach the Guru, whenever we approach Swamiji, whatever space we are carrying, immediately Swamiji blesses us with everything auspicious in our lives. You might just be walking around and you might be struggling in your life, but just one glance of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism on you, or you seeing the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, everything in your life can just change just by the glance of the Guru, the drishti, the darshan of the Guru, where all the patterns and incompletions which you are carrying immediately melts down, and completely the Guru removes all the negativity from your life and bestows all auspiciousness. And there are hundreds of testimonials where many of the devotees did not even know the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, but just when they saw the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism casually, whether physically or through YouTube videos, just online, just seeing some photo or some discourse by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, immediately they got connected and they felt that all their incompletions melting down, and that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is their Guru. And here we can see a testimonial of that, where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and not just visits the temple but attends to the people, the devotees coming to the temple and the priests in the temple itself.
We are now entering the year 2010, again on the 7th January. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Nithyananda Paramashivam, blessed the devotees, disciples, Kailasa Vasis, and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism also conducted the mission conference for all the Kailasa Vasis from all over the world. So here you can see that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, working 20 hours a day, if not more, was not only making programs available for people during the day, but he used to also physically, personally conduct programs for Kailasa Vasis, disciples and devotees who dedicated their lives for the sake of the mission of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So here, such a program, the Mission Conference, was taking place, personally conducted by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, and made available to all the Kailasa Vasis from all over the world. So the two-way conference was made available, and people could join from wherever, whichever temple, ashram, adinam they were in, and attend to the program and the guidance and whatever the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was making available at that time through that. So just to display the level of activism and intense activism that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was radiating. So here we can have a glimpse through these few pictures.
We will now be moving on to the next year, which is the 7th of January 2011, where we can see the Nitya Satsang by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism gave the message, the master technique to realize yourself is the message for 7th Jan 2011, continuing to enlighten us and take us to higher and higher consciousness with ultimate truths through Patanjali Yoga Sutras. The SPH dealt with the Yoga Sutra number 92 from the Sadhana Pada, the chapter, the 41st verse. Sattva Shuddhi Saumanasya Ekagra Indriyajaya Atmadarshana Yoga Yatvanicha, explained as there also arises purification of the sattva, the cheerfulness of the mind, concentration, conquest of the organs, and fitness for the realization of the self. Here we can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism expounding on the truths of the Patanjali Yoga Sutras. In Hinduism, we have the three main Prasthanatraya, which is the three main scriptures of Hinduism which each Acharya needs to expound about. The first one is the Bhagavad Gita, revealed by Bhagavan Sri Krishna in the Mahabharata, and the second one is the Brahma Sutras, and the Upanishads is the third one, where the Patanjali Yoga Sutras is a very important part of the Vedas and Agamas, revealed by Paramashiva and revived by the Guru Patanjali, where Patanjali, the Divine Guru, expounded on not just the yoga, but how we can attain the supreme bliss, the enlightenment through yoga. Many of us in the recent day, the westernized scholars have wrongly interpreted Patanjali Yoga Sutras as just some names of the asanas which Patanjali gives, but the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism again is reviving the authentic form of yoga, where through yoga Patanjali described about the Ashtanga Pada, the 8 steps to attain the enlightenment, as the enlightenment is the purpose, and not just as the modern day westernized scholars think of just loosening the body and having some mental experience and mental happiness. But the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism gave us the sacred secrets on how the Patanjali Yoga Sutra is not just a way to loosen your body or just to perform few asanas and few breathing techniques, but how to manifest powers through what Patanjali has given us, as the Patanjali Yoga Sutras are directly derived from the Yoga Sutras of Paramashiva himself, the Yoga Pada of the Agamas, and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism almost for 3 months continuously in the morning satsangs explained about the Patanjali Yoga Sutras and gave the techniques, the sacred secrets on how in our day to day lives we can experience the yoga. And yoga is not just something that we do 1 hour in the morning or 1 hour in the evening, but through the day, how we can be in the space of dharana, dhyana, samadhi, and how we can practice yoga in each and every aspect of our life, whether it is at our home, or whether when we go to work, or whether when we go to our schools, colleges, universities, how constantly throughout the day you can be in the space of samadhi, which is the ultimate enlightenment, and function your day from that authentic space, and not allowing the laziness, tiredness, or boredom in our lives. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explained about the various techniques that Patanjali reveals in the Patanjali Yoga Sutras for all of us to make our lives better, and explained about the sacred secrets in the Patanjali Yoga Sutras.
Also, one thing to add, that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has given discourses about many of these various scriptures. Here we can see the Patanjali Yoga Sutras, but it should be known that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has also expounded on the Brahma Sutras, on the Ashtavakra Gita, on the Jain Sutras, and so much more. So a lot of this is made available on Nithyanandopedia. So inviting all of you who want to experience, to listen to the words of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, reviving the authentic science hidden behind these sacred sutras, to visit Nithyanandopedia and have a glimpse of all these discourses. Moving on to the year of 2012, again, the 7th of January, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism visits various temples in Pondicherry. So the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving the temple-based community lifestyle. So throughout his whole life and public life, as we know, and even before he started his public life, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is all about temple, the science of enlightenment, which is hidden behind the temple science, the temple of how to relate to the deities in order to purify yourself, in order to free yourself from various blockages, energy blockages and incompletions, and experience the oneness with Paramashiva through devotion and surrender. So naturally, throughout his life, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism put a lot of emphasis on relating to temples. So here we can see pictures of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism escorted by disciples, devotees, Kailasa Vasis, and spiritual heads of these various temples to the various parts of the temples to get the darshan of the deities and everything which was made available to the public inside the temples.
And also we can see it is such a joy to see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism when the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism goes to a temple. Not just the big temples, but whether it might be just the daily morning darshan when the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism comes to the Adi Kailasa Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiv Devalayam, and the joy of seeing the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism seeing the deities. It is such a joy, as we all know, of course, that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the avatar of Paramashiva himself. But when the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism sees Paramashiva in that loving way, in that space of Advaita, it is such a joy to see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And especially many of us who have been around the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in all these temple visits will know that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, when he visits the temples, the way Swamiji, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, bows down to the deities, it is not just doing a Namaste or Namaskar. It is literally with Swamiji's whole being. Swamiji does the Shashtanga Namaskar in every single temple to bow down to the deities and to offer the prayers and respects to the deities. And it is just a wonderful joy to see the supreme point of Hinduism connecting with the deities in all these temples. And we are now moving on to the 7th of January 2013, where in the event in Mahakumbhapuri, Prayag, one of the famous Tamil Nadu Mutt Kanchi Kamakoti Pitadipati Sri 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 Jayendra Saraswati Swamigal visited the Nithyananda Dhyanapitham at Mahakumbha Mela. He met the Supreme Point of Hinduism and spoke about the greatness of the Dhyanapitham and Swamiji.
Saraswati Mahaswamiji is here to grace us. I welcome him with our humble respects. இங்கு நம்மை எல்லாம் ஆசீர்வதிப்பதற்காக எழுந்தருளி இருக்கும் காஞ்சி பரமாச்சாரியர், காஞ்சி சங்கர மடத்தின் பீடாதிபதி ஸ்ரீ ஸ்ரீ ஜெயேந்திர சரஸ்வதி மகாசுவாமிகள் அவர்களை மரியாதையோடும் பணிவோடும் தாழ்மையுடனும் எனது சார்பாகவும் நித்யானந்த தியான பீடத்தின் சார்பாகவும் வரவேற்கின்றேன். எழுந்தருளி இருக்கும் ஆச்சாரியர் அவர்களை நம்ம எல்லாம் ஆசீர்வதித்து அனுக்கிரக பாஷணம் செய்யுமாறு பணிவோடு கேட்டுக்கொள்ளுகின்றேன்.
சங்கர ஜெய ஜெயசங்கர ஹரஹர சங்கர. நித்யானந்த பீடம் பல வருஷங்களாக பல ஊர்களிலே கோயில்கள் அமைத்து ஆசிரமங்கள் அமைத்து பல பணிகளெல்லாம் சீரும் சிறப்புமாக செய்து வருகிறது. நமது காஞ்சிபுரம் மடத்திற்கும் நித்யானந்த சுவாமி அவர்கள் வந்திருக்கிறார்கள். அப்படிப்பட்ட ஒரு மாபெரும் ஸ்தாபனம் யோகங்கள், தியானங்கள், ஸ்தோத்திர பாடங்கள் மற்றும் பல வகையான பல பணிகளெல்லாம் செய்து வருவதோடு அருவமும் உருவமாகி அனாதியாய் பலவாய் என்பது போல் அருவம் உள்ள அந்த நிலையை அடைவதற்கு குரு வழிபாட்டை பலமாக வலியுறுத்தி சிவபார்வதி எல்லாம் இங்கே வைத்து அதன் மூலம் சீரும் சிறப்புமாக நித்யானந்த பீடம் வழங்கி வருகிறது. இதேபோல் மேன்மேலும் நல்ல சீரும் சிறப்புடனும் இந்த ஸ்தாபனம் விசேஷமாக விளங்க வேண்டுமென நித்யானந்த சுவாமி, நித்யானந்த பீடம் இதையெல்லாம் மேன்மேலும் வளர வேண்டுமென வாழ்த்தி ஆசீர்வதிக்கிறோம். ஜெய ஜெயசங்கரன் ஹரஹர.
தொடர்பு சில விஷமிகள் சுவாமிக்கு எனக்கு இருந்த ரொம்ப நீண்ட நாளை உறவை நடுவில் புகுந்து தடை கொஞ்சம் டிஸ்டர்ப் பண்ண முயற்சி பண்ணாங்க. ஆரம்பித்த காலத்திலிருந்து நம்முடைய இயக்கத்திற்கும் ஆச்சாரியருக்கும் நெருக்கமான தொடர்புண்டு. பல சூழ்நிலைகளிலும் ஆச்சாரியரை சந்தித்திருக்கிறேன். பல ஆண்டுகளாக இருக்கின்ற ஆச்சாரியனுடைய ஆசீர்வாதம் நடுவில் சில விஷமிகள் புகுந்து ஆச்சாரியருக்கு தவறான தகவல்களை தந்து சங்கடம் ஏற்படுத்த முயற்சித்தார்கள். அது இல்லாமல் மீண்டும் ஆச்சாரியரோடு இனிமையான உறவும் சங்கரமடத்தோடு இனிமையான நட்பும் இருக்கணும். ஆனால் ஆச்சாரியர் ரொம்ப பெரிய மனதோடு வந்தும் நம்மை ஆசீர்வதித்திருக்கிறார்கள். அவர்களுக்கு மீண்டும் மீண்டும் என்னுடைய சார்பிலும் தியான பீடத்தின் சார்பிலும் நன்றியையும் பணிவையும் பக்தியையும் தெரிவிக்கின்றோம்.
So here we had a glimpse of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism receiving Jayendra Saraswati Swamigal, Shri 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 Jayendra Saraswati Swamigal. So before moving on to the next year, let us take a very short break. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Yes, so welcoming all of you back. Jumping into the 7th January of 2014, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism elaborates on the world's most worshipped deity, Mother Ganga. She is the embodiment of love, completion, pure inner space, and divinity. She landed on the planet Earth to give completion to all of humanity. She has the power to heal us of any deep incompletion just by spending some time living near her. Spiritual practice is increased 1,000-fold when practiced next to her. Let us all appreciate, worship, and protect this ancient sacred waterway, the Ganges, Ganga Mata. So here the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, expounding on one of the most sacred part of India, which is Ganga. I'm pretty sure that most of us would have heard of it. Such a sacred river, water body, which millions of people visit on a regular basis to offer their gratitude, their worship, and to be purified by her. It is said that a simple dip in Ganga purifies one from all its sins. So millions and millions of devotees constantly, every day, start their day by going and offering their prayers and receiving the blessings of Ganga Mata, the Mother Ganga. So here the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism shares about how Ganga is the embodiment of love, embodiment of completion, has a pure inner space, and is divinity itself. So inviting anyone who is able to go and have darshan of Ganga, Ganga Mata, to do not miss this opportunity. Of course, many devotees, disciples in the past would have gone on various trips with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to the Ganga Mata. So here in this satsang, if you wish to listen to it, you can go again on Nithyanandopedia on the year 2014 and listen to everything which the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism revealed about Ganga Mata on this day.
The next we can see the year of 2015 on the 7th of January, morning satsang continues with the Living Advaita series on Upanishads. Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, assures us that we can all experience the Upanishads. We just need openness. With this openness, we will accumulate all the ultimate wealth in our life directly from the Upanishads, the sacred knowledge, sacred sentiment, and sacred cognitions. In the morning satsang, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explained about the various cognitions, the powerful cognition where we need to be in the space of openness. Many of us, especially many of the adults adults who feel that they have read many books of the various Upanishads, Vedas, and have feel that they already know the knowledge of the Vedas, with that space we can never achieve the real truth from the master. As Swamiji beautifully says, that when you come to the master, you just need to drop all the old cognitions and come with the open space for the supreme point of Hinduism to download all those aspects in us. If we are already full, we can never receive the full cognitions from the Guru, and it is this space of openness that we should have to receive the various powerful cognitions and to receive the truths mentioned in the Vedas, Agamas, and the Upanishads.
Moving on to the next year, on 2015, again, 7th January, we will be watching a part of this short video, Nithyananda Times, which displays the various activities which took place on this very day. So let us have a watch.
Today Nithyananda Brahmotsava, third day. Let's receive Mahadeva's grace first and then enter into the satsang.
नित्येश्वराय चन्द्रशेखराय नित्येश्वराय चन्द्रशेखराय गंगाधराय नित्य नमः गंगाधराय नित्य नमः नित्यानंदाय नित्य बोलो नित्यानंदाय नित्य बोलो आनंद शयन नित्यानंद आनंद शयन नित्यानंद हरे हरे बोलो हरे हरे बोलो हरे हरे बोलो.
Upanishads. The more you read, reread, and digest, internalize, more it makes you beautiful from within. The macrocosm should become part of the microcosm, and microcosm should become part of the macrocosm. Not only the drop should merge into the ocean, and the ocean should merge into the drop. Drop merging into the ocean is enlightenment. When the ocean merges into the drop is an incarnation. The great devotees, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, here in Karnataka, Akkamma Devi, in Andhra, Annamacharya, Tamil Nadu, Jnana Sambandar, Manikkavasa. I can go on listing. They all used the passion and emotion, intensity of the passion and emotion to dissolve into the cosmos. See, provoking you to dissolve into the truth, any spiritual book can do. But provoking the cosmos to dissolve into you, only Upanishads can do it.
From my young age, I had a deep yearning and craving to learn and experience the Upanishads and the Vedic truths. So when Swamiji announced that he'll be talking on Upanishads, I was very excited. Through this Upanishad Satsang series, Swamiji is giving us the experience of Advaita and Shivoham. It is really wonderful and a great joy to sit with Swamiji and experience those great truths and internalize them. So it is really a wonderful opportunity for each and everyone to listen to this Upanishad satsangs and live Advaita.
Here we can see the 7th of January 2016, where we can see the procession of Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Devalayam, where Lord Chandigeshwara, decorated beautifully and taken throughout the ashram for a procession to mark the end of the Brahmotsava. Accounts from all the departments are submitted at the feet of Lord Chandigeshwara, all the department heads offering the puja to Lord Chandikeshwara and Arati at the end of the procession. All of us can see at the end of every Brahmotsavam, the celebrations are done to Lord Chandikeshwara, who is the accountant of Kailasa, where all the departments submit the accounts of what donations they have got from the devotees and the kingdoms of various kings, and how the donations were used during the Brahmotsavam in the various celebrations, in the various decorations, and finally everything is submitted to Lord Chandikeshwara as per the Vedas and Agamas, the instructions which Paramashiva has given in the Vedas and Agamas. And here we can see the Chandikeshwara Utsava after the Swamiji's Brahmotsavam, the Jayanti Mahotsava of the birthday celebrations of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism.
Moving on to the year 2017, again on the 7th of January. Today, the delegates of the Nithyananda Yogam programs share their awareness after joining, their amazement after joining Balisans of the Nithyananda Gurukul in the manifestation of powers, the Shaktis. There was also an exciting sharing entitled From Cracking Coconuts to Mastering Cosmic Dimensions. Powers of Nithyananda's new species, where sannyasis of the Nithyananda order shared amazing stories and happenings from Adhikaranandi's courtyard, where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism initiated a new species into the manifestation of the length, breadth, and depth dimensions. She further shared about Chidambaram, how in the ancient times Sadashiva himself awakened the ability to read the Akashic records in Agastya Muni and his disciples, and that for thousands of years the same happening has not taken place on planet Earth until now, where Sadashiva himself has come in the form of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, who has given his initiation and into the powers to the Balisans of the Nithyananda order. So here, during the year 2017, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism worked day and night intensely in this place, which was called the Adhikaranandi's courtyard, his private quarters, where hundreds of disciples and devotees were being initiated literally every day into a different power. So here we can see one of those days where coconuts were being cracked. So some of these participants came the next day and shared on stage their experiences and their personal experiences, and also what they have witnessed around them while being in the courtyard.
The next we can see the 7th of January 2018, where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism gives a very powerful Nataraja darshan to all the Mahasadashivoham participants. In the December of 2018, in the December and January of 2018, we had the Mahasadashivam program, which was a 21-day program conducted by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, and every day the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism would grace us with very powerful darshans. Like here we can see the darshan of Nataraja, the manifestation of Paramashiva resembling all the Panchakrityas, the Shrishti, Sthiti, Samhara, Tirobhava and Anugraha, the creation, maintenance, the sustenance and rejuvenation, pulling out of delusion and liberation. All the 5 aspects. And here we can see the darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is gracing in the form of Paramashiva, of Nataraja.
Here we can see another picture of this amazing darshan. Entering into the year 2018, let us also have a quick watch about the various activities, the processions, festivities which took place on this very day in the year 2018.
On the 8th day of the Nithyananda Paramashivam, the deities of the Nithyanandeshwara Sadashiva Devasthanam went across the Adinam, blessing everyone with their energy. Ganesha, Murga, Mahadeva and Devi, Minakshi, Guru and Chandikeshwara went all together on a joy ride across the Adinam to celebrate the happening of the avatar Paramahamsa Nithyananda on planet Earth.
Shambho Shankara Shambho 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 Shambho Shankara Shambho
Shiva Shiva Shambho Shankara Namami Shankara Hara Paramesha Vishvesha Shiva Shubhankara Shiva Shiva Shambho Shankara Namami Shankara Hara Paramesha Vishvesha Shiva Shubhankara Sagavada Nithyananda Manasa Nithyananda Jagadodharaka Nithyananda Namami Santatam Paramahamsa Nithyananda Sadashiva.
On the 23rd day of the Mahasadashivoham program, the participants were initiated into the powerful Shaivite initiation of Vishesha Diksha. Along with the initiation, they received the 24-carat crystal carved in the shape of a linga with the Sri Yantra carved on top. This linga gives the right to worship Sadashiva. Once this initiation is taken, a daily puja of the linga has to be done. This puja strengthens the feeling connection with Swamiji and Sadashiva.
Sadashiva Nithyananda Sadashiva
कालेश्वर महाकालं कालाञ्जन निवासिनं कालकृत्कालवेत्तारं प्रणतोऽस्मि सदाशिवं प्रणतोऽस्मि सदाशिवं
Sadashiva Sadashiva Nithyananda Sadashiva 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 Nithyananda Sadashiva
सर्वकृत् सर्ववेत्तारं सर्वज्ञम् अपराजितं सर्वभूतात्मभूतस्थं प्रणतोऽस्मि सदाशिवं प्रणतोऽस्मि सदाशिवं
Every Sunday, a program called Kalpataru is conducted in Bangalore Adinam and across Tamil Nadu in many languages. This program makes us realize that we are responsible for the reality we are living and we have the power to change it at any moment.
Divyavataran, Bhavyavataran, Ananyavataran.
लो आया वेदांत केसरी बजाओ
The construction of the Golden Temple started. The initial pillars have been placed and the protective structure has been completed. Once this temple is over, it will be the largest golden temple for Sadashiva in the world and a very powerful statement for the future generation about the authenticity of Sanatana Hindu Dharma. Swamiji always says, Hinduism is real, deities are alive. That temple is an offering to all the blessings Sadashiva has given us.
Yes. So moving on to 2019, 7th January, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam, expounded on the cosmic principle of initiation into enlightened sciences during the Everyday Life public talk, the Nithyanandotsavam. In this talk, entitled The Enlightened Civilization is for all beings of this plane, not just human beings. His Divine Holiness opened the satsang by celebrating the 17th day of the Avatar Brahmotsavam. He then explained to delegates that Kailasa on the planet Earth is part of Paramashiva's Leela, his mission to revive the enlightened civilization in this plane. He revealed that even animals will begin to manifest powers, consciousness, and enlightenment, and only when it is demonstrated, the world will understand the power of the enlightened civilization. Paramashiva's incarnation is not just for human beings, but for all beings on this plane, said His Divine Holiness. He shared once more that whenever he decides to share about enlightenment, the less he wants to speak, the more he wants to reveal.
The next we have the Nitya Satsang from the 7th of January 2020, where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, expounded on the cosmic principle, what is fear? The emotional toxin sitting in your lower intestine. During the Everyday Life public address, Nithyananda Satsang, His Divine Holiness shared the Satya Loka directly from the Akashic records, giving a special boon to ignite the Kundalini Shakti in everyone, making all toxins leave the body.
We can see some few more pictures taken during this live talk, Nithyananda Satsang of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So moving on to the last year, the 7th January 2021. Today marked the special day of the 44th Avatar Dinotsava celebration, rejoicing the Jayanti or birthday of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism opened the day with accepting the many offerings of Pratiksha Paduka Pada Puja from disciples from around the world and expounded on the cosmic principles of superconscious breakthrough during the Everyday Life public talk, the Nithyananda Satsang. In this talk, entitled The 44th Avatar Dinotsava, the message from Paramashiva, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism expressed his heartfelt gratitude to everyone present virtually and how elated he is to be celebrating his journey on the planet Earth. He explained that humanity is entering into a new phase after the worst pralaya has ended or completed. He shared that it is time for a superconscious breakthrough for humanity that will allow life to be built consciously. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism shared that he is ready and available to revive Kailasa, the ancient Hindu civilizational nation, with its own territory in order to keep the grand narrative of Hinduism alive. He closed by saying that Kailasa is ready and is manifesting beautifully for all. So during these years of Pralaya, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was not physically available to people and to devotees and disciples, but used to come and is coming for live Nithyananda Satsangs, where everybody is waiting to listen and eager to receive the words of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the 1008th avatar of Paramashiva. So with this, let us now